Good morning. Just checking my iPad that it's going through live to the Soulpreneurs link. And it is, so that's wonderful. Um, yes, I'm rosboundy Psychic Medium, bringing to you the Daily Lenormand and today the Kipper cards for the 2nd of September. It is the second day of spring here in the Southern Hemisphere, and it's a beautiful sunshiny morning outside. Absolutely superb. And hopefully tomorrow morning I'll have the third camera hooked up so that you can actually see it outside like I used to do it. So it's been a while since then, hasn't it? And we do have here, we've got Kim to say good morning as well. Lovely to have you here first off the ranks there. So thank you for being here. And to those who are watching the replay. So let's whiz over to the cards because I'm quite excited in using this new deck, the combination of Lenormand and Kipper cards. So let's go over there. Connect in with your psychic senses and your spirit connections. Don't forget your spiritual guides, whether they be the angels, the fairies, whoever. So let's go. Now, here we go. It does look a little complicated, doesn't it? But it's not really. What we've got is the Siren's song is the branding of what is this deck, and it's created. Here we go. It's divining the depths with Lenormand and Kipper cards, and it's actually Carrie Paris. Here we go with the guidebook that comes in it. It's Carrie Paris. Tony said, oh, it's hard to hold that up properly. Tony Savory and Tina Hart. I don't know why there's an, oh, yes, it is an S. If you see at a distance without the glasses too close, it was actually looking like an 8, but it is Tony Savory. So there's the 3 authors of this particular system of reading, and it looks absolutely superb. I'm excited to get delving into it even further as I move along in this month, September. I'm going to use it as a backbone for what we're doing coming up. So here we have the stylized L for the Lenormand deck, which is the top row, and we've got the Kipper deck for the bottom row. Now, I haven't read the guidebook. I haven't done any more delving into it other than just taking the decks out, having a look, shuffling and laying out like we've done yesterday. I'm doing the same system this morning. So what we have is, I'm going to read them as in this is sort of the energies that we're bringing into it, combining these two are being read at this together as a together, past, present, future, that type of energy around what is the components that we're bringing into our day-to-day in a predictive way maybe, or just in a this is a guide of what we may need to know, that sort of thing. I don't know. Take it as you're sensing it within when you're hearing and watching with this, okay? So what we've got is the whip and this here, and I am going to have to pan in, zoom in, and let's just get the cards themselves here in focus and the center of what we're reading. Okay, I think this is close enough, isn't it? Good morning, Shaz. Nice to have you here with us, and I bet you're tucked into bed still, or are you up and at it with a coffee and brekkie? Right, so what we've got is the whip in the Lenormand deck, and it's the unexpected money as the Kipper deck. Now, what I would expect from this one is the whip is actually getting things cracking and having the process of action being put into place. That's my sense of what we're getting from this, and what we can expect as unexpected money. When it says unexpected, we're not expecting it. You can't put into that is a definite. So you just look for those moments that you're going to find your abundance in how you are doing what you're doing through the day today. So whether that's something that you've already put the work in and you've had some unexpected money drop into your life at the moment, that we can then move into this present state of, and this is the dog with the Lenormand card and a rich girl as the Kipper card. Now, with some of these, I am going to, I've got a sneeze coming, I can feel it. So, excuse me, I am going to have to, just a moment. Excuse me. Good morning. Good morning to Kim. Here we have it. A lotto win or sell the unit. Well, it could be. And what we have here, though, with it being unexpected, is with the house, with your unit and selling it, that would mean to me, look, that is something that you are expecting, but it could be that there's going to be, with some little bit of extra work, there could be that someone that just pops in unexpectedly. Don't expect it. It's that's going to be maybe a conversation that you have in the day that's going to trigger someone else to pop up and say, oh, I didn't know you were selling your unit. Let's have a look. And, it's whatever it is that happens, but it's because of some result or action, as a result of some action that you've taken, that's going to be bringing that in. Now, with the dog, it's loyalty, it's staying true to self, it is being that unconditional love. And I see this as being ourself, that inner part of, that our soul level, I would think, really at, we've come into this life for purpose and reason and all the rest of it, and we're staying true to that inside of ourselves, that depth. And this is where I'm seeing it starts from, but what we do when we're actually out and into our world as we're living it, that we are expressing that even then as that fullness of who we are being. So I'm seeing that as almost like a ring. I'm not sure what the depiction is, thinking in mind that this here, as the Siren's Song deck, it is all based, from what I can tell with the Lenormand, that the system is based with a nautical theme. So that does look like the octopus's arms in the background or something, and maybe it is how we tie ourselves to a anchor line is with this ring and chain and all that sort of stuff. I have no idea, not having read the book, but the depiction is to me feeling like there's not that chain there. This is the free choice of what this dog is offering as far as undivided, loyal love, unconditional, and everything, and is just sitting there in our presence. So it's this unconditional love that's sitting in our own inner presence and bringing that to the rich girl. Now, there's nothing negative in how, some people really have a thing against riches and stuff and have a poor mentality and that type of thing. What I'm sensing in this is being the richness of our abundance, not that judgmental label that we might put on someone as, a spoilt little rich girl, that type of thing, because I can remember hearing that as I was a child at school. There was kids that went to college that, rich parents, blah, 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 blah. All the rest of that judgmentalism that does carry through to some degree into our adult life, remember. A lot of what we've experienced as children hangs on and hangs around. Let's get rid of that baggage and just see this as the abundance of loving energy that we're seeing in these beautiful, rich colours and the clothing. Yes, it's rich girl, but it is an abundance, and using that abundance wisely. How are we going to? Now, I am going to have a quick look in the Kipper section of this guidebook because it is a new deck for me. I have never heard of it before until I saw the video on YouTube that was demonstrating this particular deck reading system, the combined, with the Kipper and the Lenormand. So here we are with the rich girl. It's a woman, like daughter, sister, colleague, lover, happiness, innocence, carefree attitude. It is happiness and youth and bringing in the richness of what we have around us. I'm going to have to read that more fully by myself, I think, the explanation. It's not quite as succinct. It goes into a large detail. I'll do that for a course, I think. So really feel into what riches have you got around you. And it doesn't matter if you're a boy a male. It's still that softer feminine energy and how we use it in our day to day. So that's what we're going to be looking at. And good morning, Kay. You just popped in then. Wonderful to have you here. And those beautiful emoji hearts, I love them. So now, as we're looking more into now, what can we plan for our moving forward? And here in this deck, we've actually got a cat as the card 18 in this Lenormand deck. You can see it's still the now what is that? That's 10 of hearts, isn't it? So both the same, just different animal depicted. Now, with cat, the energy might be a little different. Sometimes the cat really does think they're the masters, and they probably are, but the energy is still the same. It is an unconditional love, it's that loyalty, and I actually do like this that it's the cat standing on top of what is the octopusy things, tentacles and the rest, like they're using them for a mat. The dog is just being present there with. It's an interesting combination, isn't it? The what are the most common loyal fur babies that we have? It is dogs and cats, and we've got both in today's reading. So it really does depict that interesting balance of what are our family. We have them as our family, and we're getting into some action today with that. And what we have here with the Kipper deck is, I don't know. Oh goodness, it says prison. That is a prison card. Let me see. Have a look at this. I haven't seen like these cards are all absolutely new for me and my knowledge. Have a look at that. It does say prison. It looks a little ominous, doesn't it? And there's the cat and the dog. Have a look at those combined. There certainly is that little shift of an attitude when you look at a cat, isn't it? And that's just a beautiful, loving energy of unconditional love dog. That really is what it expresses to me. And looking after my daughter's two dogs again, it doesn't matter who you are, when you give love, you get it back tenfold plus with a dog. I don't have a cat present here any longer, but we can see that little bit of difference, can't we, between the two. Now, let me just zoom that up again where I had it before so we can see them all. Now, I don't know the meaning of this prison one. I shall just get that book out to have a look again to see what the keywords are, at least from the Kipper that is prison. I would say we're potentially it's a warning to not be caught up and trapped into something, feeling like we are imprisoned, but to actually free ourselves up and make sure that what we are putting into action with our whip isn't going to give that result. What's the intention that we've got in our day? And the keywords are constraints, misfortune, imprisonment, trapped, isolation, impasse, oppression, forbidden, or secrets. Now, that's interesting, isn't it? So, think about how good it feels to be carefree, empowered, unregulated, and unrestricted. So, prison is the diametric opposite. So, what we're looking at with this one is, and there's nothing to do but bide your time. Aha, until his sentence is completed. Okay, it references the Monopoly game there as well. So, here we are with what we've got, the cat and the prison. It feels like be wary, and especially I think too because a dog's attitude doesn't always change unless you mistreat it, but from my experience of cats, they really do demand that, in some respects seem to demand that you follow, or else they'll put you in a emotional emotional roller coaster sometimes. And I'll just relate a story that I had. I needed to go away for a while, so I think it was a week or something, some sort of a trip somewhere, probably a retreat, and I had to leave enough food and water. And I asked the neighbour if they could keep an eye on the cat, and her name was Jasmine. She's a beautiful cat, Burman, fluffy as, but certainly a hoity-toity, and she was the ruler of the house, really. When I got back, she totally ignored me, snob, totally looked away, like she didn't come into my presence fully until at least a week later, where she'd pop onto my lap just for one pat and then go. She was the one who was commanding. And so I'd been put in that more psychological prison. I had a sentence to pay for this. So I think that's probably what it's mentioning here in that type of a prison. Are we ourselves putting ourselves in prison? Because we're putting, those limitations on ourselves. I think it could be setting ourselves free to be this rich girl in our abundance, our perspective, how we are seeing our life, and see it as that abundance, not closing up and imprisoning what we have as that flow of energy that is possible. Look, if you feel you need to serve some time, let it be known now that that intention is my sentence has been served, and setting yourself free and being the boss of what is your realm. And I just love the combination of these because it really is a balance, isn't it? So, and Sharon, you're saying in your house the cats are more loyal as the dog is fickle. Yeah, but she's grown to love the neighbour, hasn't she? So, she's still unconditional love. And for anyone that comes into the home, really. And Kay, yes, all those lovely little emojis. I love it. So that is where we're going to leave that. Now, at any point in time, you can always go back and pause where you need to actually see now what are these cards showing me for my day to day. So, feel into it. What is the message for you? You, each and every one of you, know your own individual life circumstances and how you understand things. I'm just giving you guidance. So, and of course, I have put the psychic.online website there for those who would like, more individual, very detailed readings. That's there. And you can always message me in the Facebook or emails. I don't think I've ever written down my email anywhere. Actually, I'm not too sure whether I have shared that anywhere. You can always, you'll find me. Do the @rosboundy. You'll find me. So I'm going to leave it there. Have a wonderful day and keep being the best you that you can be. And I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye for now.